The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the policy or position of ONTV's management, staff, or board of directors.
Talking nude.
Yeah, we're all just sitting here in our birthday suits tonight.
Talking nude.
It's cold as fuck, and the last thing we should be doing is.
Talking nude.
But that's what we do because we're like that in our birthday suits, and we're just.
Talking nude.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone just like wore kimonos and watched karate movies and be.
Talking nude.
And then you want to make sure the shower is warm enough when you get out because you'll be.
Talking nude.
And then you might get hungry and want to get some Haagen-Dazs out the fridge and then still be.
Talking nude.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Talking nude.
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Welcome.
And welcome to another fantastic, spectacular, fabulous episode of
Talking nude.
where we talk uncensored, uncut, unedited about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. Why?
Because we want to.
And because it's fun. And let's just be honest, some podcasts you listen to, you're just kind of like, you get kind of tired.
Or
you know what I
the
mean?
ones that are really interesting that I'd be like having to rewind parts on.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Well,
know.
those ones are not the ones that make you want to sleep. Those are ones that make you want to think.
This is true.
Because I listened to one the other day, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to give them any like promotion, but I was listening to one, and it was related to Sunny in Philadelphia, but it wasn't the actual It's Always Sunny podcast that I love, right?
This is
It was
true.
two guys talking about It's Always Sunny, and they had the most quietest voice and trying to be funny and interesting. And I felt like Alan Altman in Pillow Talk. It was putting me to sleep. I literally turned it in 20 seconds.
Well, you guys, welcome to another episode. And I am one of your hosts, Mrs. Kathy A.
So there's a story behind why she dragged that out. So in the beginning of the
Announcing
podcast,
it.
she used to always say Miss, and Miss would mean that
Because
she
my
is
kids
single.
at my salon call me that. They've
But-
been calling me that before I was married.
But
So I think I'm just used to hearing it that way.
but you haven't been single for
I
almost
know,
6
but
years
it's just
now.
that's just a thing.
Okay. I won't take it personal. But you ready for the holidays?
Yes.
It's hard to
Actually,
believe.
no.
I know. Yeah, be honest. Don't
No,
lie.
like I am so like strapped. Like I even posted something that I shared on Facebook. It said like things looking are so bleak in my bank account that
Yeah.
people are gonna get fucking Merry Christmases through text messages for the holidays for gifts. If this is true, they're gonna get a Merry Christmas.
No, we
Like,
know we could do because I'm a manager of a retail store. We can just buy a bunch of stuff there and just like throw it instead of Amazon. We could just go by their driveway and just.
so that's true. Like they did the pandemic. Everyone was
Just-
having like parties in the driveway and shit during the pandemic.
I'm not ready for it either. Like we got the stockings up, as you know, and then I'm thinking, well, let's get
I
the
just
tree
now
up.
noticed you put it like by the door. I didn't even realize what you had did.
You didn't notice that?
No.
Little gesture I did. Yeah. So what I want to do this year is keep it very simple, and I want to bring it back to like when I was a kid and my last Christmas. I want to do something very simple. It's not about how much money you have. It's
I
about
just want to be
utilizing.
blowed, drinking
There you go.
eggnog and whiskey, and being on an edible and watching like funny Christmas movies with you.
Well, that would be awesome. So we could
Hey.
watch like Harold and Kumar's Christmas.
Oh my God, we got to, and then of course we
Children.
got to go. We got to do Home Alone too, since
And
we did Home Alone on
That's true.
Thanksgiving.
And then Christmas Story, because who doesn't like Ralphie getting his tongue stuck on the fucking telephone pole? That shit was, or the flagpole. That shit was hilarious. I triple dog dare you. And then you could hear like a pin drop when it was like, oh shit. Because back then that was like betting like $5, like when
This
you did
is
that.
true. This is true. I am so excited about our guest tonight.
Yeah.
So excited.
So we're gonna bring her in a few minutes. In a
So,
few
so
minutes, we're gonna keep you
excited.
guys under suspense.
This one's like an oldie but goodie.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
like, this goes like, okay, me and Jason been together 10... Yeah, for me, it's 10 years.
For me too. For me too, dear. You're like, for me, it's been 10 years. I don't know how
Yeah.
many years would it be for me?
Yeah.
10 years.
No, what? Oh, hush. But you know what I meant.
That's
like,
that edible kicking in that she took on the way here. That's what that shit is. She was like holding on to dear breath and had to take the edible because how I was
when
driving.
You drive with Jason, it feels like a roller coaster.
Not really, though.
Yes, it does.
Does
yes,
it?
it does. Then it's like snowing outside with some sleek roads and shit. So I'm
No.
just like, oh my God, I'm like praying on the way here, like, get us here safely.
Well, so the key is when you're driving, as you already know, you want to just kind of keep it lightly on the gas, be within the speed limit. You don't have to be at the speed limit, be within it, but be with the the flow of the traffic. If you go too fast, you might swerve.
Yeah.
And if you go too slow, you're gonna have someone honking the horn trying to run you off the road. So it's like you got to kind of feel the road out. You know what
I guess.
I think you'll be all right, though. I promise you will. And this
Are
holiday is gonna be nice too because I got a surprise for you. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. So
you?
Yeah.
Aww.
it's not a gourmet oven. So quick story. I bought her a gourmet
Oh my
oven.
God, he's gonna keep on saying this.
I am. So look, she was like,
I am
all
going
she
to use
wanted,
it,
all she wanted
okay?
was a gourmet oven. And she's like me with collecting shit, right? So I don't know if anyone knows this.
I absolutely love kitchen appliances.
She just likes looking at them. That's
I
that's what it was. It's because it's sitting over there by the sink. She's made one pack of cookies out of it. That's it. And it's an air fryer.
Yeah, it's an air fryer, dehydrator oven. It is dope.
Yes, you can put it yourself
But
in
I
there like a
have not
sauna.
used it except for like once. I feel like, what if I get away from being like using the oven? Will I get lazy at using the oven? Because I'll
doubt
get so like addicted to the air fryer.
I doubt it because you can't really cook anything big in it. Like you can only make like cookies or small pizzas. You can't make like a roast in it.
That's true.
You know
You
what
know
I'm
what? I
saying?
didn't think about that. That's true.
See?
I didn't think about that because I think
Yeah.
that was one of my biggest things. Like, what if I get addicted to it where I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to use the oven anymore.
So I remember when I got it for you, you were like so geeked
Yes,
because I got like
that's
the
when
most
everybody was
expensive
getting
one.
them
they
air
had.
fryers. Everybody
Yeah.
was getting them.
She's like, I gotta get one. All right, want an air fryer? That's
I know.
all
I
I want
haven't
for
used
Christmas.
my juicer in a long time too, and I got a really
That's
nice
true.
one.
That's true.
But the one thing I do use on a regular basis is my Vitamix.
yeah,
You know,
that's true.
my Vitamix and probably my food processor because when I make like sweet stuff, I usually like to mix stuff in that. So, but I love a kitchen appliances. I have so many, like
She
so
really
many
does.
fire
Like, you can
lasers, all
count.
types of stuff.
They're just
I just-
everywhere.
But it's because I like having those things because when I look at recipes online, I love that's one thing I do. I like to look at food online, like
okay.
so I like to know that I have everything if I want to do that recipe.
Okay.
I think that's the thing with me. I'm serious because most of them
Yeah.
are like, well, you need a food processor. I'm like, oh, okay, got one, check. Or you need a Vitamix blender to make sure it comes out creamy and smooth. Check, got that. You know, got
you
the,
just gotta
got the hand
utilize-
mixer, got that.
Now you
got
just
the
have
sifter,
to utilize
got
the
that.
equipment. She
Got
has
the
it.
spiralizer,
Now you
got
just gotta
that.
use it. You gotta just be like, fire it up.
Especially when I was on my
Turn one.
cucumber kick. My slicer was the shit when I was on my cucumber kick.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I put a whole cucumber like perfect like slices.
What was the one? Is that the one that does dices them?
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
That
I like
was dope. So it's like I do have my little seasons, and then when I do my juicing, I have
Yeah.
my little seasons. So it's nice to when I'm starting something new or a new adventure, I can always do something where it's like I have the stuff.
So I guess the synopsis would be the takeaway would be that you just like looking at it, knowing that it's there, like physically.
Yes.
You just
For
know
when
it's
I
there.
yes.
Okay.
But I know
Kinda like I
I'm
know-
prepared when I can do a recipe.
Kind of like I know all my CDs and tapes and cassettes are in my man cave whenever I
And
want to listen to them.
exactly. And they just sit and gain dust. He has tons of toys and everything. They just sit and gain dust.
It's
And when
not
Jason
true.
buys shit, y'all, Jason buys it in doubles.
I do.
Jason be like, he has one that he opens, he'll play
I
it
do.
for a little bit,
Yeah.
or whenever he's chilling in there. But then he has one more extra for like he's never gonna open ever in
Yeah.
life just to look at.
Well, I try.
But
like when
everything
I
is sitting in like boxes and tote
yes,
containers.
yes and no. So I bought the new Ice-T album, the new vinyl, the triple vinyl, and I opened it to see if he signed it because he was signing pre-order. So I was like, I don't even have a fucking record player, but I'm like, it's Ice-T. You know what I'm saying? So I had to support it.
Oh,
I even bought Paradigm's vinyl. Still haven't got it yet. Shout out to Paradigm, man, and the Period album. But guess what? We are about to bring our guests in. So
Yippee!
I have to introduce this lady. She has been all over the place. She's been doing music. She's been doing videos. She was hosting events, throwing events, and she's just been doing her thing, man. And we've been trying to get her on the show for a while, and we finally kind of, started playing tic-tac-toe and freeze tag on Instagram and finally got a hold of one another. Because, I don't do the Facebook no more because they be on there just negative all the time. Like, I don't have this, I don't have that. Well, get
I
off.
like Facebook.
I can't
Facebook
do
is
it.
still the platform for me though.
It's too negative for me,
then
man.
Instagram's like I like Instagram for the video part, but
Yeah, the
I
vid-
still
Yeah, but they get on. Okay, for example, and I'm sure you guys know this, and gals out there, is people will get on there. They'll be like, "Oh man, I don't have a job. Does anyone know anyone that's hiring?" Get off the keyboard and start applying to fucking jobs. You know what I mean? Or, I'm in a bad relationship right now, and this guy, this woman's using me or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, get out of the relationship, or just give them a break for a second. Like, get away from them. Like, they'll just be on the keyboard, like, I'm in a bad relationship, and I need help. Or here's one. Here's one was hilarious. Okay, so somebody, you know how they do GoFundMe, right?
Right?
Remember I told you someone that wanted to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos, and they did that shit just to get tickets to
Oh
go
yeah,
to it.
that's
Like
true.
that's not what GoFundMe is. I don't think was intended for. It was like if someone got in a car accident, you know what I mean, and they needed some help with
Like
the hospital
funeral
expenses.
costs and
Yeah,
stuff
you
like
didn't
that.
go. Oh well, I need tickets for the Gathering of the Juggalos. Please help me. But anyway, I'm gonna just turn it over because we got a great guest in the house tonight. You guys may or may not have heard of her, but you will tonight. I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the coldest fucking lyricists. Everybody out there, give it up for Lady Dice.
What's up, you guys? Hey, how's it going?
What's up? And where is
Yeah.
the applause?
Hey,
Usually I have an
here, I'll
applause.
do
Yes,
it.
he
I
does.
do it for my damn self.
Oh my
all right?
God, the applause disappeared.
It's all right. I do it for my damn self.
There we go. Yes.
Hey,
yes,
yeah, there we go.
When in doubt, break out
Okay.
the real clap.
I know, right?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's been a long time. It's
Yes.
been
Very,
it's been
very long
like,
time.
What, couple years, 3-4
It's
years.
been at
Yeah.
least since 2017,
Seriously.
I think. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I kind of stopped doing music there for a minute.
Yeah.
And took a hiatus and
Yeah.
try to figure out life and shit like that.
Yeah.
But music's still in my heart, and the politics with it. You know how it goes.
Oh
so.
my God, do I know how
Yeah,
it goes? That would be
we can do a
that
whole
would be a
podcast
whole
about that
separate,
shit.
and we bring it back
That's
for a part
true.
2 for that one.
Yeah. So, but doing good. Fucking just trying to live life, be
Yeah.
positive, and do my little readings. And
So where
Work.
did you get the name Lady Dice? Like, where did that come from?
so that actually came from a good friend of mine. Some people are familiar with Smokehouse Junkies in
Yeah.
Lansing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dub Sick. He
Shout out to
actually-
them.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. They definitely paved a platform out there in Lansing for the music scene. But actually, Dub Sick, he's the one who called me Dice. They used to do shows out in Flint at Club 2101.
Okay.
It's Club Contos now.
Right.
Okay.
It might not even be open for all I know. Shit.
It
It's
might be a
in
Kmart.
Detroit, right? Exactly. But back then I was underage. I had a fake ID. He called me Dice. Well, I had a problem with the Detroit Dice.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. But he
Yeah.
actually got a little salty. He messaged me and was like, "You ain't Dice," and this, that. So I had to change it from just Dice.
Are
to
you
Lady Dice.
serious?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yep.
Oh
So,
my God.
Dice actually reached out to me. It was
Yeah.
a little salty that I was claiming to be Dice,
Yeah.
and it just kind of I wasn't trying to have no turmoil then. I wasn't even doing music then. It was just a nickname in the Juggalo world, and I was like, you know what? I'm Lady Dice.
Yeah.
I'm a girl, so
Right.
whatever. And that's how it goes. And
That
Yeah.
is petty.
and that was
Ugh.
back like what 2009. We're talking like I was like 20 years old. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
my
Like,
God. That is so.
crazy,
Wow.
right? So out of respect,
Yeah.
because I got respect for
Yeah.
them and shit, so I changed the name to Lady Dice, and it stuck. And then years went by. I was probably doing music for like 5 years, and then I seen another Lady Dice. She's out on I think like the west coast of the states,
Like
there.
California or Vegas or
Idaho. I
something?
think she's from
Idaho.
Idaho. And she goes by Lady Dice.
Oh.
And so she was first a singer and was with somebody else, and then she ended up going with somebody else. And I think you guys have heard the song Sugar Boom Boom.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
chasing dragons.
Yeah.
That's Lady Dice from
Oh wow.
California.
Wow.
And so I did a little research. Of course, deep down my artist heart was hurt, and it is what it is. I knew that I couldn't put the platform out like she did with that name.
Yeah.
And so shout out to her. Like she knew about me, she contacted me through Instagram. We liked each other's posts, things like that. So she was very aware that I was also Lady Dice. But I kind of just let it go. I
Yeah.
mean, she's a great artist. She has a lot of money. She's able to do theatrics, everything that I
Oh,
guess
that's
I
dope.
could have done.
Okay.
She ran with the name. And so I just kind of let it die in a sense. And, I would love to pick music back up. I have studios, to my
Yeah.
dispose, but at this point, it's just like, it's the game. It's the politics of the music.
Let's
and,
talk about it,
you
man.
know,
it's
Let's
hard.
let's talk about it.
Let's start by
Yes.
saying I remember when we wouldn't have to pay for shows to get on shows. I remember when promoters would actually pay us, be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I got these tickets." You know how I ran my shows?
How?
I would headline my shows, tell these artists, "Look, I'm giving you 10 to 15 tickets. I need you to make like $5 off of them." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the ticket price was, I mean, my tickets were low as they were.
Yeah.
We did raffles, all types of shit, but I made it to where they were able to make a little bit of money, even if it was just $25 extra,
Yeah.
$30 extra. I mean, I know it's not a lot to a lot of people, but when you're just in a city trying to make a name
Yeah.
and get artists to your show, you don't want to sit here and try to, make people, sell all these tickets and not
Yeah.
get nothing for it but an opening slot.
Yeah.
The crazy part about
That's
the whole,
true.
when I got involved with Jason, I never understood that concept of paying to be on a show.
Right.
But that came from, the Beyonce world. They pay to get on their shows too, the
Yes.
top slots and stuff.
Okay, but that's Beyonce. We're not talking about like
Exactly.
somebody that's in
But
Detroit
people
or
got
Wayne.
that
Yeah.
they got that
I
idea
know.
from that, and they thought they could just bring that into
Yep.
the underground world. Because over the years, as I've talked to different artists,
Mhm.
they were like, "Oh, we got it from this, and thinking, okay." And then I learned how it works in
Yeah.
Beyonce's world. It's the
Right.
same. It's the same crap.
Yeah.
That's why one star you'll see faster come up than
Yes.
another one,
Yep.
because one has the opportunity to buy these great
More.
slots on shows.
Yes.
And one person who has done it over the years is Jennifer Lopez.
Yep. And so I'm all about investing in your dream, investing in your hobby. But when it gets to a point that you're actually paying for other people's households while you're struggling to just
Yeah.
get your name out there, that's
Yep.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's total
And
bullshit.
how do they how do they sleep? How do promoters sleep when they know that they
Yeah.
stacked a show
Yeah.
with 10 you need
Yep.
10 artists on a fucking stage?
Yeah.
And half them artists you got, they ain't even got balls enough to be on stage by themselves. They
And a
gotta
lot of
bring
them-
everybody
Yeah.
on
else,
stage.
that's
And a lot of
true.
them, what I've noticed as well, and I'm sure you know this too, is you have some artists that would promote.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you always
And
grind
push.
and always push,
Yep.
right? But then you have the ones that don't, and then they would get mad because they weren't really getting the same recognition. But it
Correct.
was like you got to believe in yourself, and that's where it really starts at. You got to believe in yourself, and then it should be where everyone eats together.
That's true.
And
It is.
because that's one thing is when I was doing the
Mhm.
promoting is I was always trying to get people I was working with to
Yeah.
understand that look, let's get
You
these
have to
tickets,
promote.
but let's have you promote, let's
Correct.
market, let's
Because
get
that
a
brings
single.
more people in, not just your ticket sales. That
Yes.
brings people off the street.
Yes.
And another thing that I did learn, in it was I felt like it was a competition. Let's say there was a show and I was on the roster with like 6 other artists. Well, unfortunately, 2 of them artists can just pull out their pocket and pay for them tickets and not even sell those tickets and have
Yeah.
not one person in there.
Yeah,
But because
oh.
they
That's
gave the
true.
promoter
Oh my
$300, they're
Yeah.
going before the headliner.
Yeah.
That's bullshit, promoters. That's
It's total
bullshit.
bullshit. I'm not gonna call the person out
Thank you.
that
I
it
was
was.
about to say, like,
Look,
whoa.
I'm not
okay.
gonna call it out, but you already know
Yeah.
the artists on one of the events back in the day.
That
They
always
said
did that.
they said they were
Yeah.
gonna bring a tour bus of motherfuckers and bring their whole squad,
Yeah,
and
damn
they
lie.
brought fucking
Yeah.
10 people, and it was their little crew.
Yeah, and they probably paid for all the tickets
Yep.
that they were handed. So of
Yep.
course they're gonna look. Oh, you just handed me $300. You can do whatever
Yeah.
you want. Like
Yep.
while the other people are really trying to hustle and get their
Yeah.
people
And get
in.
a fan base. And
That
have
part.
it get a
It's
fan
hard.
base.
I love that Valentine's show that you
Yeah,
put together.
I did those.
That
I did
was-
8 years of that.
Are you
8
serious?
Valentine's
Wow.
days. Yes.
Wow, I know.
So-
There was a lot of artists on that.
Yeah, and I loved it too because it was
Yeah.
a battle of the sexes. We
Yes.
had a lot of female art
Yes.
MCs and
You mixed it up.
males, and
I think that
tried.
you were probably the first local one. I think when Jason, like I said, when I got involved with Jason, he was
Yeah.
taking me to the shows, and I remember seeing you. You were like one of the first like female
Yeah.
vocalists that I had seen that was like doing the rap stuff. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I just went head on with it. It was just something that I just grasped onto and just ran with it for a couple years, and we had a lot of fun. I learned producing and all the knobs, and we did it for a long time, and I miss them guys. Like Bipolar ENT, like shout out to them because
Shout
We-
out to whole.
yeah,
shout
we
out
were
to
we
them.
were a good team. You know what I'm saying? Like them guys were definitely we were gang, and that still runs deep. Like Jeremy Grimm, shout out to him. That's still
Shout
my
out.
guy till this day. Like
Yeah.
people grow apart and whatever in music and all that, and the politics stepping in, and you know,
And you
it-
started
I think
noticing
it's
people's
life,
politics
too.
start
Yes,
changing
that
too,
too.
along
Yeah.
with life.
life.
It's life, but it's
Yes.
also
Yep.
egos.
Yes,
Let's keep it
egos.
100. It's egos, man.
Yeah.
People fucking think that they're like Tupac and shit
And
in
they're
this
fighting for an imaginary prize. Don't they
Yes.
understand that?
Yeah.
There's not any scouts in Lansing. They're not
Yeah.
coming to Mac's bar to scout you out to sign you $1 million. They're
Yeah.
not.
That's
Yeah.
true.
They're not
They
going to
don't-
the Bullfrog and scouting you out for
That's
$1 million.
true.
They're
Exactly.
That's
because
true.
they know what kind of talent. I'm gonna say because there's a lot of people that do like underground music that isn't like known. Let's say I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of artists that are super talented. Like I feel like I can call out talent. You know what I mean? I can tell when somebody needs some work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a listening ear and having been around the music for so long. I mean, music's been an influence my entire life. I mean, that was never shut off to me. So I can hear and I can tell if somebody needs help or if there's something special about them.
Okay.
I wish I had $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or a contract. Because I
Right.
would sign
Yeah.
people who are the underdogs because them are usually the best people.
Yes,
I
that's
agree
true.
because
That's
I've met a
very
few
true.
people in my life that, and I tell Kathy this a lot,
Yeah.
that if I had a few dollars to invest, and she's like, "Well, it's not really about just the dollars." I'm like, "No, because it is. Because you still got to be able to invest in, like you said, what they need to do what they need to do, to invest in the video, to invest in the production, to invest in their wardrobe, to invest in booking them on shows. You know what I
Everything.
mean? Yeah, everything.
Well, and what's really hard too is now people are getting famous online because they're buying views.
Yeah.
You got
That's
TikTok stars
true.
that are bullshit, that are
That's
just doing
true.
dumb shit
Yeah.
that you're like, why am I watching this?
Yep,
And they're
that's
getting paid
true.
millions, hundreds. They're living in a mansion. And it's
This
like,
is true. I actually saw this guy the other day, and I said, "What the fuck am I watching?" He had like bicep implants
Mhm.
that looked infected.
horrible. I think I know what you're talking
serious?
about. In
Yeah,
his arms?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it
What?
looked like, he has got these injected lips, and he just sits
Ugh,
and just
So
talks.
horrible. Stop doing that, people.
And like, he looks bad. He looks like his face has got plastic surgery, these big, huge lips, and then in his arms he has infected like fucking arm implants.
Yeah, you can tell. They're
Wow.
horrible.
Yeah, they're infected.
And people are like sending stars, and that's actual money. Like
Yeah.
people are actually putting money in to send stars. Like
yep.
it's crazy. Facebook is, I don't know, it's
You-
crazy.
And you can't promote like you used to either.
No,
Like the
you have to
algorithm has
pay.
changed so much,
Yeah.
you gotta pay. And then if
They
you,
only
you
let your
pay,
shit get
they
like
only let
6
you get a certain amount of
views.
reach. Because when Kathy tries to promote like her salon, for
Yes.
example,
Or even my readings,
She
any of
can't
that.
get
It's
you have
like,
to pay advertising.
Yeah.
To
yeah.
even get anywhere.
and then if
Yep.
you do that, you still only get a limited reach.
Yeah.
Like back
Yep.
in the day when we did it, you used to be able to tag people. You
Right,
could share it.
yes.
They'd share it on their page.
Yep.
Now it's like, nope,
Nope.
they limit the shit
So
out of
I
it.
did
Yep.
that on my reading page, and you already know how people feel about that shit. So
Yeah.
I had I paid for an ad just to kind of see, and I did get a lot of likes and comments, but literally 90% of the comments were horrible.
For real?
Because it was, why is this in my algorithm? Why the fuck am I seeing this? You're the devil's work. You know how that goes, Kathy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and it's horrible. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay for an ad for my readings page because I understand that not everybody understands that, and
Yeah.
some people might think that it's the devil's work and whatever. That's a whole other podcast too.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But like I had to deal with that, and so I learned that I can't put money into something that's just going to bring me negativity.
That's true.
And
That's how I feel about
very
TikTok,
true.
though.
I don't have a TikTok.
Because I go on TikTok, right? I had a really successful live
Yeah.
doing readings, right? But
Yep.
I had got sit there and just got preached at and preached
Yes,
at and
it's
preached
horrible.
at, and it's just like they just allow people to come in and harass you.
Yes. And you have to have a
So
monitor,
many.
a monitor.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody there to like go through your shit.
Yeah,
and
and it's just
monitor.
like because it's so they allow so much
Mhm.
because you're getting the good and the bad, but
Yes.
it's just like people come into your
Yes.
fucking live just to fucking
to say
harass.
something.
Yeah, versus like Facebook.
It'll be
I
just
like
trolling.
Facebook.
Yes.
A lot of
I
trolling.
like Facebook. I use Facebook
Yeah.
for my readings because it just has my friends.
Yeah,
That is
same.
it.
Same.
You know, and
Yep.
that's like. But the thing is, even with that, they even limit that.
Yeah, because you're not paying for it.
Yep.
They're not going to let you get a big audience
Yep.
because you're not paying into their meta shit. And
But they'll
yep.
show, but they'll let negativity and
Correct.
negative
Yeah.
videos and people
Yep.
fucking killing themselves
Yeah.
online that's
I've
showing
seen
that
some
shit.
horrible
Yeah.
videos online, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, like animal abuse. I can't stand it. It makes me
Yeah.
sick. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? I know our world's fucked, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
so I did go through, and because you were saying Facebook's negative, and
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I had to go through and literally weed out everybody that would sit there and complain because I can't sit there and read somebody over and over complain about their life
Yep.
when they're
Yeah.
not doing shit about it. So
yeah,
true.
thank you.
unfollow. You're not on my
Yep,
shit
Yes.
no
so
more.
true.
Yeah.
I'll check back in you on like a month, see if you're okay. And
Yeah.
maybe you can come back.
You're
but
nicer than I am. I cut them off. I just cut someone off, and I'm not gonna say who, but I cut off someone from the scene because
Yep.
every time I'd reach out to that person, it'd be like I don't get a fucking response. But
Yep.
if I comment on something that they just happen to be commenting on the same kind of post, I don't hear nothing back. I'll be like, hey, what's up? Just checking in. How you doing? Nothing.
nothing.
I'm like, okay, Kathy, I'll cut this
Yep.
person
That's
off.
the trash
Yeah.
taking itself out, Jay.
Yeah,
I'm done.
literally.
You
Yeah.
know, okay, thank you. Made
Yeah.
my decision easy. Like, bye.
So-
That's 2024. I'm walking in on that attitude. I don't give a fuck no
Yeah,
more.
That's-
who
look,
you telling? Oh my
literally.
God,
That's-
that is
come
so
on.
fucking
Yes.
true.
I
I just
can't.
can't.
Nope.
I just can't. People bit my head off last week at the salon and
Ugh.
shit. I was like, it's time to divorce some people.
One of her regular clients
Really?
fucking was on some bullshit because
was
some personal
like,
shit happened to
right.
her, but
Yeah.
instead of her fucking just dealing with it, like, and,
Right, she
and-
lashed out on you.
She
Yeah.
lashed out.
Because
Oh my
you're the
gosh.
therapist, unfortunately.
Yeah, she is.
I know. The
She
hair,
is.
Oh my
my hair
God.
lady's my therapist. She does all my
But
business.
I was more stunned. But she had a human moment, and I knew it wasn't about
Yeah.
me. But it was just like,
Shocking.
yes.
Right. You're just
'Cause-
like, are you okay? Do you want a hug? Are you
Thank
good?
you, right?
Like, that's how I'm feeling with
Yeah.
people now. If they're negative and nasty, like that's the first thing that I'm responding to. I'm like, do you need a hug? Are you okay?
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
someone do that the other day
You're
at my
lashing
work.
out.
This lady was literally everything I was saying, the opposite was coming out of her mouth. And finally I said,
She
we
wanted
got
to
to get
fight.
some positive
Yeah.
on you. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm literally like going like
Throwing
this.
it
like,
at her.
like, we got to get some positive on you. What's going on?
Literally. And people like that are really hard too that want to like fight you.
Yeah.
And you know that they're trying and you're just not with it. You're
I'm
just
not
like,
gonna
no,
feel it.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna feed into it.
Yeah.
Like, are you good?
And I was nice to her back. Cause for me, my salon is like my sanctuary to
yeah,
me.
sure, of course.
It's like this is my
That's your
place.
space,
Yes.
yeah. Where you
And
bring
so,
your people. and-
Yes. And my altar is one of my salon altars in there, and I type my jazz music. I keep
Yep.
it in an environment like
a good environment.
yes for
Yeah.
people to come in and have
Relax
peace.
to feel
Yes.
beautiful. That's your goal.
Yes.
So yes.
And so when she went off on me, I was just like,
Girl.
my first response, me
She
and my
wanted to
cleaning
yank
guy,
her fucking hair off
me and
her.
my cleaning guy looked at
cameras?
each other.
Yeah.
We looked
Turn
at
these
each
fucking
other and
cameras
was
off.
like, he knows me and I know
Yeah.
him. And I wanted to snap back, but instead I
Yeah.
I go, I apologized to her for whatever she was
Yeah.
irritated
Good
at.
for you. Good for
I-
you because
I was like,
It's not
she
easy.
snapped at my cleaning guy. She snapped at me, and I was
Oh.
just like so calm to her back. And then she finally let it out that she
She's
had
having-
a
Yeah.
personal, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's what this came
Yep,
from.
the root came because you have to take people with grace.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
these days, everybody's so damn sensitive, you know?
Yeah.
So you do. You have to take people with grace.
Too
and-
sensitive.
Because I know that sometimes when I'm bitchy, I want somebody to have grace with me. So I
Yes.
try to have grace back and understand that people do go through shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our world's so fucked. So I
Yeah.
mean,
It's fucked
It
while
is.
moving really fast.
yeah, that part. Like
Yeah.
lightning
It is
speed,
fucked
drop
while-
of a
yeah.
dime.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like some days I can't even catch up. I just want to like be in the house and hide
Yeah,
sometimes.
I feel that. That's how I've been feeling
Like-
this last week. But
like
you know,
I just want to sit in the
Yeah.
house and fucking hide. Like what the fuck?
Yep.
Like the word is what the fuck.
yeah. Well, not to bring up, war or anything, but I just want to say what the fuck on the whole bombing on Jerusalem because that is
Yeah.
the Holy Land and that's really insane. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Wow.
That really breaks my heart. It hurts my spirit. And the one and only place that you would think that there's peace, there isn't. So that should reflect on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's real.
That's true.
Jerusalem. That's where, religious or not, that's just what it states. That's where
It's been a
Jesus
basis
from.
for a
Like,
lot
that's-
of
yeah, that's-
religions.
It is, and
It's been a
so
base for a lot of
it's
religions.
it's horrible, and my heart goes out to over there and
It's senseless what's going on in the world right
War
now.
is
And the
senseless.
crazy thing is it's about greed. It's about power. It's
And a
about
belief system,
manipulation and a
though.
belief system
A
that they're
belief
trying to
system.
force.
My thing is
horrible.
like it's
Yeah.
about belief systems. Like
Yeah.
who cares?
if you don't believe what I believe, we're gonna do this, 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 and this, or
Yeah.
you're this, 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 and this.
right.
It's
Well,
like
in high
somebody's
school,
either
you would have a
accusing
debate
you.
team. You could
Yes.
debate shit out, and
Yes.
you didn't have to agree, but
But
you
you
could
could
hear a point,
disagree,
and you could
agree,
hear a
disagree.
counterpoint,
Yes.
and then you somehow would be able to have a drink
Come together.
afterwards and
Yep.
be all right. But now it's like, I don't
can't.
fucking like your shoes. Well,
Right.
my shoes are better than yours. Fuck your shoes. My shoes are better.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fuck Nike. No, well, fuck Reebok. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah,
And then
it's
there's
crazy.
no, like,
It is. It's insane.
People are living
horrible.
with absolutely no boundaries
yeah,
Yeah.
no, and I think
and
that's
respect
yeah,
for one
and
another.
I absolutely agree, and I think it's just really horrible too that people are. I mean, I know there's racism in the world, and that's such a big subject too. But I just think it's really horrible that people do single out like Jewish people. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, just because they're Jewish
That's
or
true.
Christian or like if they're black folk, like, why? Who gives a shit? We're all human and we're all entitled to how we feel. So like, knock
But
it off.
you know what's crazy
It's
is
weird.
that I was watching something on TikTok a long time ago, and it kind of made a whole lot of sense. I think all this division is is a poor man's tactic.
I
Because this
agree.
rich guy told me, he was like, wealthy people only care about money.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're
Nope.
yellow, green, blue, what
It's
religion you are.
status.
This is about
It's a
money.
status.
Yeah.
This is about money. They don't care. But poor people need division
Right.
to make one another feel better because they don't have any money.
Correct. It's really a
Mm.
reflection of how they feel on
Yes.
themselves.
Yes.
So that's why
Wow.
we attack each other
Yes,
in the streets.
because like wealthy people, because one of my clients, he's like, he's a wealthy guy and he comes from money. That's what he's always come from. He was like, no, up here, we don't worry about
No.
that kind of shit. We don't care.
No.
If your Latino neighbor is Latino, they don't care. It's about money.
Correct. They're
It's-
not fighting. I mean, think
yeah.
about it. In the rich neighborhoods, they're not fighting each other in the street. You go to the
No.
hood, they're shooting each other.
Yeah. Both people
It's
when they're
crazy.
wealthy, they're all trillionaires.
Yeah.
Which means it's like
But they're
all
also
like,
trying to divide the
they're-
class. They've been trying to get rid of, like, let's just be honest, middle class is pretty much gone. They've been getting,
Yes.
it's you either have or you don't. And
Correct.
you know, and that's what's sad is before you used to have the middle class families
Yes.
that worked, 40-hour weeks and didn't have to fucking work on Sunday
Correct.
because, they might have had family or
Yep.
church or
That's
whatever.
how I grew up. I mean,
Yeah.
my
Me
family, my
too.
parents both worked, 40, 50 hours. My dad still fucking works 50, 60 hours. That man will probably work till he dead.
Yeah.
But he's a true American. He's a true man. He's a true, you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
been doing this, and it sucks that, like, that it's just not an option no more. I just got out of warehouse work. Warehouse work used to be reputable. It's not anymore. You go into the warehouse and break your body down for $15 an hour. They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, you can go work at General Motors, but that's not a reputable job anymore because
No.
look
That's
what they're
true.
doing to them.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy
That's
about
true.
it's like I don't think any job these days is worth anything anymore.
McDonald's is like getting to the top with how much they're paying. I mean, shit, McDonald's is almost better than being in the office.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's horrible.
Yeah.
But
And then
the
they
thing is,
changed the
McDonald's though,
wages.
they're gonna do that, but they're gonna snake everybody because they're going to machines.
They are.
Been
I know.
they've been talking about how they're just going over to machines. It's gonna be like four. I guess it's two people, like a 4-man crew, and then the rest
Right.
be everything
Probably
will be
for
robots.
drive-through, which would make sense. Yeah,
They're doing
because-
that now at Checkers. Like when you go to
Yeah.
Checkers and Arby's,
So
they'll be
it's
like, "Hey,
fast
welcome to
food is gonna
Arby's."
be like one of them things where they're not gonna even need people
No,
anymore.
You just literally go in and order off a kiosk and put your card in.
Yep.
And there you
Yeah.
go.
I think all the jobs are going to be just stuff to
Obsolete.
make computers and make
They'll
like
still-
make technology.
So we've
Those
talked
are
about that a
gonna be
little
the
bit.
jobs.
I still think there's still going to be jobs. It's just going to be, we're going to be more labeling, packing, unloading the parts,
Yeah.
People are
sorting
becoming
the parts,
machinists,
GP12s.
fixing that shit.
Yeah.
and fixing it.
Yeah.
Like
Computer
that movie
work.
Elysium.
Yeah.
Yep.
Computer work, IT work, people who are, into engineering and shit, that's going to be their job is fixing the machine when it don't want to work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, though, are not educated on that. So they're going to be lost when it comes to that shit.
That's
they're going to
true.
be like, well, I don't have an education. I wasn't granted that or whatever the case was,
Then they're gonna be
just
using
not
their
learning
bodies.
it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're going to
Gonna
be doing the grunt work.
Yep.
And they're going to break down their bodies, and that company's not going to give a shit.
I think what frustrates me is when inflation's at 20, 30%, but you got the wages staying down here, and these corporations are comfortable with that.
Yes.
Because the factories, for example, where I work at, it's a tier 1 factory. We do stuff that goes straight out to the big
Right.
3. You would think we would be at a little higher wage. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's good wage, but it could be better.
Mhm.
When you have a cost of living at 30%,
Yes.
and your interest rates are sky through the fucking roof, and your rent's going way up, and your gas and your car payment, right? And then your wages is just below where it's like you should be.
Right. You're barely making ends
You're
meet. You're making ends meet, but they're barely. I mean, they're fraying.
Barely.
They're fraying.
Yes.
Literally, like your cloth is fraying, but you're barely making it.
And I don't
Yeah.
understand,
It's
like,
horrible.
how can everything just keep going up, but the wages don't go up? Because they want to keep us there.
Well, they do, and because you guys are disposable. If
Yeah.
you quit because fuck this,
Yeah.
they're gonna find another Joe Schmo that's gonna take it for $12 an hour.
Oh, I
Yep.
know.
You
We
know
had
what I mean?
we had somebody that was on heroin that was working there, and they got rid of them because they were nodding out the machine. And heroin is like real bad now too. They just had a
Yeah.
thing in the free press about it.
Horrible.
It's been coming back and has not. That's one thing.
Because people don't have medical insurance and shit like that. People are getting
Yeah.
cut off from their medical care and they just don't have the money.
Well,
No,
heroin's
and
also
so
always been that escape.
the
It's been
pain-
a way
yeah.
for
The
people to get away.
painkiller, they use
It is
yeah,
cheap.
cheap
It's
painkiller.
cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper than anything. But that shit. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
That shit would kill you.
It's
I mean,
killing
it
you.
Will kill you. I mean,
My cousin died
You
over
can't
that
even
shit.
honestly. I just don't even buy anything off the street
no,
anymore.
hell
No.
no.
I just don't
Dispensaries.
remember exactly.
Weed. We're a bunch
Yep.
of weed.
Yeah.
heads. That's as
Oh,
far as it
Exactly.
speaking of
goes.
weed, but it doesn't have weed in it, but it is a snack. We did
Oh.
my wife made homemade no-bake cookies.
Oh, nice.
They don't have weed in them,
Thank you. I love
but
no-bakes.
they are the shit. And they have
I
almond
made it
milk.
at the crumble this time
Yeah.
versus the
Thank
ooey
you.
gooey
Yeah.
cookie.
Yes,
It's more
I-
crunchy.
Yep.
All right.
And
I
they're
love
made with
no-bakes.
almond milk instead of regular milk because
Yep.
I have the dairy
Yep,
issue and
of
all
course.
that good stuff.
I've actually been eating a lot better. I haven't had
Yeah.
fast food in probably like, I don't know, 9 months now.
I was gonna say
Really?
you
Yeah.
definitely look different,
Yeah.
because before, we all rip and run. You're gonna eat junk food.
Of course.
You know what
yep,
I mean?
Fast food. Of
Yes.
course. Yep. And, partying, drinking.
Yes.
I haven't really drank in like 3 years. So
For
that,
real?
Yeah.
I can't drink like that
Yeah.
anymore. It's like you have to plan that shit now.
You do.
Me and
You
Jay-
absolutely
have to
do.
fucking plan that shit
You
because
do.
Gotta put in the schedule.
yes, you do because the hangover lasts forever.
So
It
I don't
does.
have. I mean, you know what? I
I
don't
can't
know
get
now.
trashed, but I mean,
Yeah.
me and Jason will have a shot at home, you
Yeah,
know.
Sure.
But I mean, when I want to go out and actually get tanked, where I don't have to get up
Yes.
next
Yeah.
day
You
at
gotta
all.
prepare. You gotta prepare for that.
Yeah.
shit. I'm
Yeah.
clearing out all my appointments.
Yep.
She
Correct.
has to because she can't work out the
Yeah.
next day with the
I
trainers.
can't do nothing.
She can't
Yep.
do
I
shit.
cannot.
Yep.
And like getting drunk, I can't even do it that
It's
much.
almost as bad as a weed hangover, though. If you eat too many edibles and you wake up the next day and you're just like groggy as hell, and
You
you're
know
still
what?
kinda
I stopped
stoned.
eating
Yeah.
the indica ones. That was
Yeah.
happening to me with
Couch
indica
lock.
ones.
I'm not gonna lie
Yes,
though. I
that
miss
I would
when
be
she
the next
would
day
get
like
high.
kind of like I like the hybrids now because
Yep.
they keep me up but
Yep.
still relaxed
Yeah.
enough. But the indicas were doing that shit. I was
Indica
like,
is indica.
you
couch.
wake up
Indica
like
couch.
hungover.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you this. I remember back in the day on our old bed, 'cause we ended up breaking the old bed. But I used, because I would jump on her. Like, I would literally come
Right.
in there and when she was fucked up and just like run up and like sneak up on her and just jump on her. And
Suplex
she
her.
couldn't fucking move because she
Gotta
was
be
just
so
so
stoned.
stoned and
Hell
she
yeah.
would
But
just
that is
giggle.
the difference though between how many years ago was that? Because I remember I used to be able to get some good weed from my
Yes,
clients.
Yeah.
sure.
And it was street weed, and that
Yeah.
shit used to have me on
Yeah.
my fucking ass.
She was,
now
could not move.
that's now the weed, even dispensary weed,
It's
isn't
trash.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Dispensary weed's
awful.
trash.
Yes,
It really is.
it
Plus,
is
it's
like
expensive.
horrible.
It is.
Plus, it's
It does.
expensive,
It
like-
smells like a basement.
But I love
Yeah.
the edibles. I love the edibles.
Yep.
Yeah.
From a dispensary, but the weed sucks. I'll get some weed if I get it for free or if they're
Yeah.
on sale,
Right.
just to kind of go along with my edible.
Yeah.
For the taste.
But
But
man,
the
to go
fucking
buy
high,
like an ounce, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell
Not doing it.
no, fuck
No, not
that
doing it.
shit.
So I want to
But-
switch it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
sure. Let's go.
So what are some of your musical influences?
Oh, so I knew it's funny. I knew
knew
you
I
were
was
gonna
gonna come with
ask.
that.
Yeah. So it's funny. I switched like completely. I've been listening to like a lot of girl music.
Okay.
I'm going through some personal things. So
Okay.
girl music all the way. I've been listening to like a lot of Ash Nico, Honey Cocaine.
Now, what kind of genre is that?
So it's just like I can't really explain it. Like Rico Nasty. You don't know any of these. You guys need to. Yeah.
No, 'cause
you'd
you-
be
'cause
like.
they
Holy
don't.
shit.
You already
it's girl
know.
music though, so you probably you wouldn't
Oh,
really know. I mean, it's
oh.
more like
Kathy would know probably.
I mean, you would probably dig it. It's like energetic, kind of boy hating music.
Avril Lavigne.
Like yes, but
Okay.
like hardcore.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's more hard. It's more
Really?
raunchier.
Oh,
it's
Kathy
more
will love it.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Yep. So and then I've been just listening to a lot of like I don't know, Fleetwood Mac and just
Love
like
Fleetwood
yep,
Mac. Yeah.
Erica Badu. That shit's
Yeah.
been
Oh,
on
yes,
repeat.
yes.
Helping me out through my shit. And so, as far as like I mean, if you ask me any new music, I couldn't even tell you to be
Oh,
honest
me
with you.
neither.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. And
Like I don't know, like mainstream I guess would be like I mean I'm a Jeezy fan forever. Like I love.
I bought
Young
his new
Jeezy.
album.
Yeah,
I got
dude,
it.
his new album is
It's-
fucking
it's really
hard.
good. It's
It's
really
so
good.
that's
hard.
what he
It's
said.
so
It is.
hard.
But I will say this though, because I'm not a big trap music fan.
I'm
but
not either.
when you get to track 13 all the way through, it bangs. But
Yeah.
like up to track 13,
then it slows
it
down.
just was like But
Yeah.
track 13 all the way through,
Yep.
bangs.
I agree. Yep. So Jeezy's definitely like probably my Jeezy
And he went
Bootsy.
personal. He went personal on
Yeah,
that album.
he did. He was
Now,
mad.
before you got in, so the Young Lady Dice.
Yep.
You said you're getting in, got the ID, going to the clubs.
Yep.
What music were you listening to then? Like, what was the hip hop that and the rap and the rock? Because you got a
Yeah.
rock vibe too.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard you when you perform, you don't
Yep.
just rap, you also sing up there.
Right,
So
yeah.
like, what was some of that?
So I would say back then we were listening to a lot of Psychopathic Records was
Okay.
definitely in the box. A lot of Twisted and a lot of like I don't know. Back then I was listening to a Haystack a lot.
Okay.
Jelly Roll. It's so funny with Jelly because I didn't really care for Jelly Roll when he first came on the scene.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's
'cause I was a
funny.
Haystack fan. I was
For
like,
me,
CWB for life.
when I
you
see
know?
when I see
I
them
liked
on the
Haystack.
Country
Yeah.
Music Awards, I was like,
Whoa.
man, I remember the fucking days when Jason first interviewed him, and
Yeah.
I've seen this fucker open up the CMAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I
same.
never really paid attention to his
Yep.
type of music.
Yeah.
I actually listened to his wife's podcast
Yes.
before I even really listened to his music
Yep.
like that. I remember him specifically from a show that he did a long time ago, but
Yeah, he's
it
done
still
quite a
didn't.
few.
Yeah.
It grabbed me then,
Yes.
but I forgot.
Yep, he did like I don't know country trap music for the longest with Lil White and like Memphis
Yep.
style and shit, and that was cool. You know, 3-6 Mafia, all that. But then he just kind of branched off, which is good. I mean, I'm glad that he found Bunny and she's good people, and you know, it kind of just stems back. Like he fucks tough with Lansing, so a lot of
Yeah.
the people out there like they're real close to Jelly, and they you know like Jim Job. Shout out to Jim Job. You know, he's real close with him. He's Twisted's road manager
Yeah.
and shit like that. So he's out there doing the damn thing. But it was really funny though with Jelly back in the day. I wasn't a big Jelly Roll fan. I am now. I love Jelly Roll now. But I don't know. A lot of it was just like I don't know, just 90s. You know, I'm always a 90s rap and R&B. Like I can't
Maybe
ever-
Limp Bizkit, maybe.
Yeah, hell
Little bit
yeah,
Limp-
Limp Bizkit all the way. I mean, I think
Right?
I'll never get out of that phase. Even when it comes on the radio, I still will jam it. You know.
Yeah. Because that
You
music is
have to.
classic.
It
I
is.
They're
listen to
actually
all that
coming
music in my
in-
salon.
I don't know if I
I've
told
got
you
a
this,
very
Kathy.
eclectic taste.
You know they're coming in concert next year.
What?
Limp Bizkit.
He's so fucking weird now, though.
Yeah,
He's
is.
like an old ass man. He's so weird. He gives me weird, creepy
Well, we
vibes.
call that eccentric.
No,
now.
he
When
always
you wear
was
like the
creepy,
Mad Hatter hat.
though. He was
he
just
really?
cute back
No,
then.
He was. He was.
That's what he was always creepy. He was just cute.
I
That's
don't
what it was.
know, man. The new look, Fred Durst. You gotta let that shit go.
I haven't
bro.
seen the new look.
Dude, he looks weird. He's
For
like
real?
wearing fucking like what are those Reeboks? The white Reeboks and some khaki pants and like an old man. I don't even know.
So we're gonna have to redress him, give him a new wardrobe.
He needs his red hat back. That's all I gotta say because
I'm waiting
whoa.
for the new Dre album to finally drop whenever it happens. You
Man.
know, everybody keeps getting his beats, so he
Yeah.
keeps like going back to this.
I do
the
want to
drawing
say
board.
too that I'm happy to see Eminem out more
Yeah.
because he's so low key and we never fucking see him. So it's
Yeah.
really nice to actually see him like at the Lions.
Yeah,
And then like he's more like with his mom's spaghetti restaurant. He's been more
Yeah.
involved in being there, and I think that's really cool for people in Detroit because we don't see him.
yeah,
He like lurks
That's
off.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like think
That's
about
true.
it. Eminem now like he doesn't even have to do any fucking
Yeah.
shows ever again in his life.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean? And I feel like that's why he chose not to continue to tour and shit because he had so much money that he didn't need to.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was such a lyricist and a genius that he didn't
That's
need
true.
to do that anymore. And so they got him for the Super Bowl. That was cool. That probably paid for the next 40 years of his life and his daughter and all this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's
so,
true.
That's true.
So I just want to say shout out to Eminem for actually stepping out as a Michigander. Like it was cool to see him and shit. Like I thought that was cool, you know?
So horror movies.
Yeah, for
All right,
sure.
it's December.
It
They
is.
got all these Christmas horror movies coming out.
Oh my God.
Have you seen it?
So what was it? It was like this the Snowman movie. I've seen some like really horrible like E level, I'll say.
Yeah.
Like the Snowman was horrible, but it was funny. Jack Frost is what it is. The
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost.
Was it Michael Keaton, the voice of the
No, I'm
Snowman?
talking about the horror Jack Frost.
Oh, so there's a horror one?
Yes, and it's like a monster snowman, and he kills.
Isn't there like a Winnie the
yes,
Pooh horror
so I
one
heard
too?
about that. I want to see that.
Really?
Yeah, Winnie.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, Winnie.
What
the
about
Pooh.
Violent Night? That was good.
That was good.
That was,
That was
good.
funny.
That was
Yeah.
good.
That
It was
was
funny
funny.
too.
I don't. What's his name? That guy. The actor, the Santa.
Oh, I forget
he
his
was
name.
in. I don't know.
He does
Not-
animated cartoon voices.
Yeah.
I know. I remember his voice.
He was just in. Oh, Ozark. Was it Ozark that he was in?
I haven't seen Ozark.
Oh my God! Watch Ozark. Holy
I heard it's
fuck.
good. Isn't that the one with Jason Bateman?
Yes. Oh
That's the
my
one you told me I need
God,
to check
dude.
out. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
So it's only
Ozark is dope though
Yeah.
about money
Yeah.
laundering.
Yes, it's like one season I think, and I think we like binge watched it. I couldn't not binge watch it. We watched it in like a week.
Really?
Yeah, and it was so fucking good. And I normally don't watch anything. I'm gonna keep it
Okay.
real. I'm not a Netflixer. I don't have time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Oh
have
my
time.
God,
I wish
I
I
make
did.
time.
Yeah.
I wish, girl.
I
don't.
make time. Like I have
She
to have my
loves her
TV
downtown
time.
Yeah.
Abbey.
I have to have my
Yep.
TV time. I'll get up earlier
right
to watch
it.
TV. I'm serious. I'd be like, if I have a busy day,
Yeah.
I will I'll drop Jason off at work,
Mhm.
and it'd be 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
I'll take 6:30 to 8:30 to get my TV
No, and that's
time
good. That's
because
self-care.
I feel like if I don't
Yeah.
have that, That is just I have to. It's like
Yeah.
it has to be a part
It's a
of my list.
routine. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yep.
have to be able to do that.
Yep. And good for you
Mhm.
because
You
that's
know-
self care. That's part
You
of
know, I
self-care.
have to. I just have
Mhm.
to be able to do that.
Yep.
Or I just feel like I can't.
Yep.
I can't
so,
live life.
So you doing that is like me taking baths. Like I have to get up in the morning.
I
and I
wish.
I have to see.
I wish I
That's
could
an
do
idea.
that.
Right. Yeah. I get up in the morning and for some reason my spirit's always like, you need to get in the bathtub. So I do. I run myself a hot bath. I have coffee in the tub and I roll me a joint and I
That
sit
sounds
almost every
delicious.
morning. Almost every morning I wake up and just get in the bathtub
That
because
sounds
that's
delicious.
kind of how I feel like I
That's
need
not
to
a bad idea.
cleanse.
You could do that before I get up. I could still be sleeping. You
Yeah,
can go
it's,
take a
it's
bath.
amazing, girl.
delicious. That
Light,
sounds
light
delicious.
you a candle, put the lights down low for a minute. In the morning, for some reason, it's way different feeling
And he's
in the
gone
morning.
at work. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the morning, it's a way different feeling than if you were to do it at night. I don't know why, but trust me. Trust me.
Really?
Yes, try
That
a
sounds
bath in the
delicious.
morning. A
So
nice hot
now
bath.
we're going to ask, I've asked a lot of guests this.
Yeah.
Stretch Money, I asked them, are you a DC or a Marvel fan?
Well, I like Catwoman.
Catwoman?
So,
Okay.
you know, so what is that? DC?
That was DC?
It is
DC.
DC.
Which
okay.
which Catwoman, though?
So I really, of Michelle Pfeiffer, of
Oh my
course.
God, we were just
Definitely.
watching it
Yeah,
last
We watched
night.
it the other
course.
night,
That's
yeah.
a classic. That's the one I grew up with. I think that's what we all grew up
And
with.
she
That
was
the
hot,
era.
wasn't
yeah,
she?
Oh,
My
yeah. I mean, Michelle
God.
Pfeiffer's still fucking hot.
Yeah, she smoked.
Yes,
She's like
God.
64.
Is she really?
But I
Fucking
love the way that bitches are
64.
taking care of themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
people are
same.
not aging the way
No.
they used to.
No.
Like, fuck
Yeah.
that.
They're
I
not.
want to be 60 and sexy. I am
you will
working
be,
towards
girl.
that
Yeah, you
now.
will be.
Like,
Black
I
don't
am
crack
not
and white stay
playing.
tight, baby. That's
I
what
am
it
not
is.
Yep.
playing. I wouldn't be one of the
Yep.
bitches where it's like,
Slap the lotion
yeah.
on. Slap it on to slap the underneath your
Yes.
chin.
You already know, black don't crack and white stay tight.
Hey, there
So
you go. So you good. You got best of both worlds,
yeah,
girl.
all day.
Hell yeah.
So if you were writing a movie, what would your genre be? Like, what would you like to write about?
Like a serious, not drama, but kinda, I guess. Just a serious, like eye opener.
Okay.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
a suspenseful thriller, maybe.
not necessarily a thriller, but like a more of like a make you think movie. Like,
Oh, like Limitless, like
Oh.
Limitless.
kind of, but I want it to all make sense and make people think like, holy shit, like, you know, just
Lucy, like remember the Lucy?
No,
But-
for me, it was that movie with the T.
So okay, have you guys?
oh,
bitch was
oh, Get
hypnotizing
Out.
him.
You talking about
Get
Get
Out.
Out? Yeah.
Get Out made you think.
So it did. So how about something like Crash?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that
that was
was
great.
crazy.
How they were all
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
they all came
Yep,
together. So
that's
something
true.
like that, but not necessarily like different.
Like Traffic, like the drug movie.
Exactly.
How
Same-
it
I
was
mean, I
all
feel like
different
they're the
stuff and it
same.
all came together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not so like
Okay.
deep with like different scenarios per se, but I guess like situations, like real life shit that people go through and how they
Okay.
can handle it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like a breakup, for instance. You normally somebody would act this way, but now they've grown a little bit and now they're gonna act this way, and then you're gonna see the reward for acting that way instead of your old ways of being a certain way. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like we had
Definitely.
different, situations, I guess, in a movie. So I don't really know what that would be. Like a suspense drama,
Yeah.
Oh.
real
Okay.
life shit. I don't know. I'm a realist, so I just try
Yeah.
to like point out things that make people think about it because that's a different perspective of looking
Okay.
at situations. I guess I don't know. I'm complicated.
So what got you into? Because you say you're doing readings and whatnot.
Yeah.
So what got you into that as well? You've been just doing that like
Man,
off and on, or
So I've been reading cards though for a long time. I actually just started out with a playing deck, and learned how to just read playing cards. And,
I learned after.
Yep.
Opposite direction.
Yep. So and then, well, my grandmother, she had the gypsy deck, but the gypsy deck she had was from like the 80s. And
Really?
It looks
Wow.
the same. It does, but it's just obviously from 1980.
it's got different energy.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. And she gifted it to me, and I don't even know where they're at. So they could be somewhere. I moved, and so they're somewhere. But I remember her. I grew up like Christian, but I also grew up spiritual. So we kind of had to balance it out.
Yeah.
The shit with Christ is instilled in me. I don't need a Bible or anybody to tell me to go to church. I know what's right.
Yeah.
I guess because it's just instilled in me.
Yeah.
But with the readings and stuff, I felt I did it for a couple years and then I stopped.
Okay.
Obviously I went through a breakup and it just kind of dimmed everything down and I wasn't really feeling it. And then just recently, in the last year, I want to say, I picked it back up because I started feeling more connection. And I don't know, it just kept screaming at me like, get you a Rider-Waite deck, because I would use a different I never had like a regular tarot deck. It was always like a animated or like, a deck that you couldn't really get anything off the picture.
Okay.
And I didn't know the meanings to any of the shit. I would reading from the booklet, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it wasn't intuitive reading. And then just one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn this, and I don't know, it took me a couple months to like really learn the cards and like what they are and things like that, and just doing readings. And then I just started doing them again more, and got a few people for like group readings. I've done a couple of those. I've done a lot of readings out on MSU campus,
Okay.
which is fun because they're like giddy girls, they're like just 18,
Yeah.
Asking
freshmen.
a bunch
Yeah.
of love questions and all
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
stuff like that.
boyfriends,
Yeah.
and it's great. And so I've done 3 of those, and I've done obviously personal readings for people, and people have came to me, and online readings, and I feel like I like doing that because I feel like it helps people
Yeah.
go down a different path than what they think.
Okay.
Again, it's me showing a different perspective
Yeah.
of a different way that they could take it, not necessarily saying it's your fate. As you know,
Yep.
it's all free will. It's what you
Mhm.
do with the advice that's given to you.
That's true.
So I just felt spirit just say, hey, you can use this as a tool. You're going to get a lot of hate from it. People are going to call you whatever and say you're going to hell and this, that, and the other. But you're not doing anything ill will. I'm
Yeah.
not giving anybody bad information. I'm not putting nothing on anybody. I'm just simply helping them. That's all.
That's cool.
So
I like
I
that.
think
I like
that's my
that.
calling
I
with
really
the whole
like that.
tarot reading, and a lot of people that do read, it's funny because, everybody's different.
Yeah.
This is very true.
Everybody learns different. Everybody's spirit's different. Everybody's card
That's
energy is
true.
way different. Like we could have the same deck, let's say, and read each other, and obviously it would just be a different energy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
that's
just
true.
and
Very
that's, and that's how it is. And it's funny because I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, scam, scam,"
Oh, all day.
scam, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm not even asking you for any money.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to know what path you want to take, or
Right.
like I'm not here to be like that, but I've gotten that, and it is what it is. I just know if it's the path that it will lead me to greatness, and I just enjoy giving people a little bit of peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
what is the with the reading? I'm gonna ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
What has been the most weirdest experience you've had with readings?
So, man, I've had quite a few weird experiences. I would say, like, my homegirl, she called me over. I went over to her house, and I actually did 2 readings back to back, which drained the shit out of me, I want to say. I ended up getting to her last, and it was like midnight. Her children's father had passed away. And we were doing readings, and all of a sudden, this gust of wind out of nowhere just kind of blew. It blew like, I don't know, 4 or 5 cards onto the floor. And I picked them up. I don't even recall because I don't remember people's readings. I don't know if you have that problem. You don't remember because it's not
Thank
for
you.
you, right?
Thank you. Or your mind goes blank.
Yeah,
and
you don't
sometimes
know
it just
because
yeah.
you're just delivering messages.
Yep, it
Yeah.
goes blank.
So when people ask me like about their readings, I'm like, I can't tell you because
Yeah.
that wasn't for me. I was just relaying the message. Like I completely go blank.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you what the cards exactly were, but we had figured out that her children's father was present. His birthday came out on the cards. The numbers in the corners because those can be significant. And I want to say it was 3/14. So it was probably like three of swords, or it was a 3, a 14, and some other number. And so we just kind of figured that's I feel like that was probably the weirdest thing that happened because there was no fan on. There wasn't anything going on. The candle that was lit, the flame didn't even flicker. It was very odd. I don't know. So I feel like he made his presence known, which she needed that. She needed that closure because she has 2 little girls, and it's hard for her. I mean, she was still in love with him, and unfortunately he got gunned down, and you
Wow.
can't stop that. You know what I'm
No.
saying? That's what he chose. Somebody had a problem and gunned him down. He has 2 little girls, and so she needed some closure. And I felt like that reading was a very powerful reading for her. And it drained me, trust. I went home and slept for like 13 hours straight.
Wow.
It was so draining. It really was. I have, I guess, been able to, I'm not going to say connect to the other side, but I have had people ask me specific questions about people who have passed, and relevant cards have shown. So it shows me that they are there in present form, but I am also careful because it can always be disguised as something else. And I am aware of that.
That's true.
You know, because there is always play. You know, we don't see the shit, the energies and whatever, but there's always play. There's always something other than what you're calling. And that's why they always tell you to be careful, close circles, don't invite shit that you don't know, ask for protection, all this stuff. It's very important that you do that, because if not, then something can attach to you and fuck your whole life up. And then you don't know, and you got this demon attached to you because you wanted to open up a circle and not know what the fuck you're doing.
And Jason, why do you think I'm so?
That's true.
Yep.
Jason
No,
be
that's
wondering
true.
why.
You
That's
have
true.
to. You
I
have
do
to.
so much
I
protective
just got
magic,
chills.
so much all the
You
time,
have to.
and
We're in a spiritual warfare right now, whether people
Yeah.
want to admit it or not, because our world is in such big turmoil
Yeah.
that literally everybody's spirit right now is just at fucking war with whatever is out there.
yeah.
Well, it's like they want. So we were actually talking about that yesterday, of how they wanted to get rid of because when I grew up in school, it was you had the Pledge of Allegiance and
Yep.
you did prayer.
Absolutely.
And then I was in a Christian foster home, but I was also in I was a born again Christian, but I was also in a Christian school.
Okay.
So I went from public school and ended up going to private school, which
Mm-hmm.
was totally crazy, because that's when I actually got into more like the Juggalo scene.
Yeah,
because
more trouble.
Yeah, more
Imagine
trouble.
that.
Because they have all these kids going into
Yeah.
school and warring, and they were
Yeah.
basically a bunch of like kids who like Isham ICP.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I had a point I was trying to make. Oh, with the prayer. So back then you had the prayer, the Pledge of Allegiance. In the morning you would do the prayer. Well, if you notice, when they started really slowly eliminating that, now you got all these school shootings.
Yep.
Now you got
And
all
kids
this
are
shit
bad as
going
hell.
on. They're fucking
Because
bad.
they ain't got God in their life. That's why.
They don't have
Regard-
anything in their life.
Regardless of anybody's religion, that is called stability, and
Yeah.
children need that.
Yeah.
Yes, you need
So-
that because you need
What do you
stability.
think? Because think
Yes.
about what the word religious actually means. It means to repeat pattern.
Correct. And
Yeah.
it
Which
doesn't
means
mean
structure. Which means
Yeah.
structure. So
Correct.
having a belief system
It's
in God,
structure.
yes,
because
repeatedly.
because it teaches children to have morals and to
Yes.
be good, because that's the whole thing about the God's way, is what they're trying to say is the reason why it's instilled in us is because they want us to live a righteous path and not be assholes.
Yeah.
So they're trying to scare us with it. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
they did. They scared us all our life with
Yeah, they
God.
did.
You know what I'm saying?
They
That's
did.
true.
They don't put the fear in God in children anymore. They
Yeah.
ain't scared to go to hell. That's the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
Oh,
Really?
Don't get me started on that.
You know what I mean?
I
though?
seen that
It's
little
like-
Nas X video.
Oh,
I'm like, how you
jeez.
gonna do Old Country Road, and next minute you're dressed up as a devil twerking
Horrible.
on somebody?
Horrible.
I'm like, and you got guys. Now I'm gonna say it. I don't give a fuck, and I'm not trying to offend anyone out there, but having dudes butt ass naked dancing and twerking in a prison shower cell is not a good look.
No.
It's not a good
Period.
message at
It is
all. You're
not a
making
good
it
message.
Even record
You're
it, though.
saying that that's
Yeah.
okay to do, and it's not, because that's why a lot of these kids are confused now. They
They're-
really,
They're making it okay because you know what that is? That's
Yeah.
that's pushing everybody against each other. That's
is.
exactly what they want. It's
It
no
is.
longer about race. It's I'm a guy, I'm a girl.
that's true.
I'm a he, she, they, them,
Yeah.
whoever. Like no,
Yeah.
there's two fucking genders.
Yeah,
And that's just what it is. I'm sorry to tell you
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be an asshole. I love you as a person, but
Yeah.
like you're a fucking guy.
yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you want to be a woman, then I respect that and I will address you as that. I'm not
Yeah.
I don't hold no hate with nobody, but there's only
Yeah.
two genders. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And-
there's too
and-
many labels now. It's like I get it. People want to be included. They want to feel like they want to be
Yes.
recognized. And that's where it comes from. Maybe it's a lack of love on
Mm-hmm.
someone's part. And
For me, I love
but-
everybody, and I
but
feel like just
there's just too many
let's-
labels.
let's
There
all
is.
love on each other. For me, I feel like I've never had any issues with the LGBTQIA
Yeah, me neither.
Neither.
community
Nope.
ever, but it seems like they've had an issue with me.
Right.
Look, I'm gonna fucking
I just
say
got
it.
chills when
You
you,
know,
said that. And
like,
I feel
I don't-
you.
you know,
I feel
like-
you.
You know, don't be mad at me because I'm in a heterosexual marriage.
Yes.
Right.
Please don't be mad at me because I identify as a woman.
Right.
Like I
Yeah, don't
literally
take
just
that from
came out of an
you.
environment like that
Yes.
where I felt like because I didn't fit into their
Speak on it.
like, I feel like I didn't fit into their LGBTQIA like
Mhm.
group
Yes.
that I was singled out,
Okay.
and because I'm just a regular heterosexual female
Right.
who's married to a male.
And you're okay with everybody
Yes.
being gay. That's how
Yes.
I am.
Yeah.
I
And
get
so
you.
it's
I
like
get you.
one person was transgender. I had no problems with that. Not an issue.
Right.
I was even asked in the interview, did I have a problem with LGBTQI? I said, nope, not at all. But I think I was asked that in general because the whole like staff was
Had a problem with you.
Yeah,
But
and it was like, and then the manager, she was married to a woman that's turning into a male.
Okay.
That's going to be going through the surgeries and everything, So it's like,
Still
Oh,
don't
see,
have
I
a
didn't know that
uterus.
part.
and
I didn't know that.
So, and then that's her husband, but even though they're
Right.
still technically woman, because she told me that they haven't had
Yeah.
any surgeries or even started the hormones yet, but they're,
Right.
it's, so I'm like, I have no problems with that. I don't care.
But they made
I
you
f-
feel some type
Yeah.
of way.
Yeah.
And that's wrong
It
because
is.
if they don't want to be if they don't want to be attacked, they shouldn't attack. And
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with even color.
And the other one was,
Same thing.
Yeah.
she was identified as bisexual. I'm like, okay, not a problem. It's like,
Right.
everybody was always letting me know, like,
What they were. Because
Yeah.
You want to know why? I'm going to tell you exactly why.
I guess I just don't get it. And all of us
I'm
were
gonna
never
tell
on
you.
staff at the same time except through training. That was it.
I'm gonna
Other
tell
than that,
you.
we all worked by ourselves. So why are we intermingling all this stuff together? I just don't understand
I'm going
it.
to tell you exactly why. Because A, you're pretty, and B, they don't know if you like girls or not. Same with me. I get it all. You know how many lesbians love me because they don't know that I'm not a lesbian?
Oh, wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you give that you're beautiful and you're a strong woman. You're beautiful, but you're also masculine. And as I am, I'm beautiful, but I'm masculine. I'll go fucking pull my tire
That's
off my
true.
car.
Yeah.
That's what a lesbian would do. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're feeling you out because they want to know what you are.
I never thought of that.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
I've dealt with this for so long.
Ah.
But they think you're beautiful and they're intimidated by you because they don't
Because
really know.
There was a few women in the scene
Wow.
that liked you. I remember. There was
Yeah.
a few of them
And
that
then when they
liked
found
you.
out you weren't, it probably changed them because they're like, oh, she likes dick.
Yeah.
That's how they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I never
So
thought
be
of it
less
that way.
pretty around them.
Fuck that. No.
I'm kidding. I'm
I
so
buy
kidding.
the sexy lingerie because I want my
No, but
wife
like-
to look.
Like now that you know that,
And
though.
it's funny how people, oh my God, I'm going to say something about that,
Yeah,
Jason.
please do.
That is so crazy because now it makes me think from a different perspective, like, wow. And then I'm going to go back to Jason. Okay. One of the things me and Jason have done, or we do like checking in with our relationship, is going over stuff after 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the things that we agreed to is certain things. And one of them was he didn't want to see me looking like shit anymore.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't that you were
So-
looking like shit. You just didn't really.
Fine. I didn't dress up or
wanted
put
you to take
makeup
care of
on.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
wouldn't put makeup on unless we were going out to dinner or out to
Right.
eat, which would be maybe once every couple 2
Right.
weeks.
He's seen you declining
Yes.
and didn't want you to.
Yes.
That's love. Shit.
So,
Oh.
I said, okay. He took me to go get the makeup that I wanted. And I feel like, you know what? I had to think about that shit. Women go into the club, into bars, and we're dating to get men. We get all dressed up and shit. We get the man, then we stop dressing it. That made no sense to me.
No.
None.
So I
No.
switched my ways. I'm like, I like fucking dressing up
Yes.
for him every day.
Every
I like
day,
the fact
girl.
that my feet and my nails are done for him.
Correct.
I like smelling good, lotioning
Yes.
up my body,
Yes.
all that kind of shit. And then he
Because
bought
that
me
keeps him
Yes.
interested.
And then
Yeah.
sexy lingerie. When I leave here,
Man.
this comes off, and
Oh, yeah.
he got me sexy lingerie to wear around the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Sure.
comfortable stuff, so I can
Yes.
lounge in it.
Yes.
Still got the titties out. It's
Yep.
sex kitten thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I told some of my clients about it, especially the women,
Right.
they're like, "Why are you dressing up for?" Like, and I'm
For my
thinking,
damn self.
Right.
like,
Shit.
like you're not supposed to. To me, I'd be thinking that is like
It's a,
some shade shit.
it's intimidation is what that is.
Like,
And-
why wouldn't you want to dress up for your man? I've gotten so many mixed reviews, but any
Yes.
man I told, they loved it. They
Well,
were
of
just they were
course.
salving at the mouth. Like,
Yeah.
I wish my wife would
Exactly.
do that.
They don't want
I
to see
wish-
a
I
woman
wish-
in fucking sweatpants and their
Yes.
hair and a
No.
knot all the time.
And I told him,
Right.
like, oh, get me some comfortable lingerie. I want to
Yeah.
be able to move around,
Right.
feel
I went and
comfortable
got her
in
some
it.
sexy
You
shit.
know,
Oh, yeah.
so I want to feel good in it.
Yes.
Don't have nothing worse cutting off my circulation. Then
Right. Nope.
so
Yeah.
you can still get sexy pajamas, y'all.
And look,
Yes,
let's
you
put it
can.
this way: when we were watching Green Acres the other night, I wasn't thinking about
It's
Green Acres.
Green Acres is the
But-
place to
Yes.
be.
The men thought it was great, but the women thought it was awful. I was just like, this is so weird.
You want to know why? Because they're insecure.
Yeah.
You're dealing with weak women. I'm just gonna say that. They're
Yeah.
weak. They're
That's
weak,
true.
Kathy.
That's true, Kathy.
They're not strong, honey. They do not think that about themselves. Because I'll tell you what,
Oh.
any woman who is about it and like is secure with themselves will go brush their teeth and put on makeup and make
That's
themselves
true.
look somewhat presentable.
Yeah.
My mama always said, it don't matter what you look like, as long as your hair's brushed, your teeth is brushed, and you got a face on.
That's true.
I will
Girl,
not.
ain't that?
I don't care what I look like down here, going
Ain't
out.
that's the truth,
Yeah.
though.
But if you,
But why
if you're
wouldn't you
clean-
want to
and
present
obviously-
yourself?
And obviously clean your, your areas if you got a
Yeah.
bird
But
bath
But it's
or
true
whatever.
though. This
but
is what people see.
correct.
It's opposite than what we were taught. Remember, we were
Yes.
taught don't judge a book by its cover, but fuck that.
No, yeah.
People do
No,
judge
they-
everything
Yes,
by
they
the
do.
cover.
They
And
do.
you know what? It's not even judgment though when they find something that that they see you and they're insecure about themselves and they're going to reflect that back on you.
Yeah, that
so
is
keep
so
that
true.
in mind. When somebody's shitty to you, you need to really look at them and be like, you're really fucking mad about yourself. You're really
Yeah.
insecure about what you just called me out about because I don't give a fuck about it. I'm dressing up because I want to. Why does that
Yeah.
make you mad? Because you're not.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
No.
talking about parenting, a lot of people
Yeah.
bring that up to us as well because we know we don't have kids, and we have our personal reason for that. But like some of her friends would be like, "Really? You don't have kids? You don't? But why not?" And blah, blah, blah. Well,
and
maybe
they're
it's-
like mean about it.
yeah,
and
like there's
prejudiced about
shade,
it.
like shade, and it's like,
And it's just
well,
like,
really what it boils
they'll
down to
say
what you
stuff
said.
like-
They don't have the
They
freedom,
don't.
or they
That's
don't
exactly
have.
right. And they have kids and they're lesbians.
Mm.
Okay.
no.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
she-
I'm just kidding. But anyways, no, for real though, I get it though. And people with children who, unfortunately, I've learned this because I don't have children, and I've been around people who do, and I see that they're not that happy with their
no,
life.
at all.
And it's
at
not.
all.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this too because a lot of people don't talk about infertility. I'm going to. You know what I mean? I've been struggling with infertility for some years, and not that I can't get a man because that's always what the bitches say. Well, you're too ugly to fuck or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they're
Yeah.
jealous, mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
I've had some hurtful shit say to me for no reason
For
because
real?
I don't have children, as I should. Because every woman obviously wants to be wants to be a mother and have a child and experience that. But some of us just are not blessed for that, and that's okay. And when you get older and you start like looking into yourself with like medical and get with doctors and and you realize that there's really nothing wrong with you except for it's not your time.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So really, y'all had kids at 20 and wasted all them years
Yeah.
being whatever, trying to figure it out. Well, guess what? I might have a kid at 35 and I've already figured life out. So who's really miserable?
That's true.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
true.
I mean, if
Yeah.
it ever happens, and it might not happen. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I think that's why a lot of people are having children now, older in their 40s now, because
Yeah.
they want that time to themselves to be. They don't want to be how their parents were, young
No.
and mean and cruel
Correct.
and dragging them around in
Miserable.
their problems.
Miserable.
Think about it. If you were a teenager who, let's say you had a kid at 18, and you're going to be dragging them around an 18-year-old problem,
Yeah, you're
and
still a kid.
22-year-old problems, all those problems
Yeah.
through your 20 that you have
Yes.
from being immature, you're dragging your child around in it.
Correct. And that ain't right. So is it right to not have kids or is it right to drag your kids through turmoil? You know?
She looked at me funny. I was trying to stifle a sneeze.
Oh, okay.
bless
I'm
you.
like,
Thank you.
But it just goes back to, is it, I don't know. Sometimes it's just not a choice and people got to stop being so mean and like just understand that sometimes it's not people's time and it's really not their fucking business.
Thank you.
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank
don't
you.
say something because I'm gonna say like, would it be hurtful? Let's say if somebody had a special ed child and they wanted to say something rude to me about not having kids, and I turned around and said their child was retarded.
Yeah.
Thank
You know,
you.
that's like the same thing. I
Yeah.
wouldn't just do that. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I'm not just
true.
gonna call out that your child is special needs because your child's special needs.
That's true.
Right.
Don't call me out for not having fucking kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
it's just
true.
kind of, people open their mouths before they think, and that's the horrible thing about our society. Everybody has their 2 cents, and social media's made everybody gangster.
Or the
Social
prejudice
media
of
is
everybody
fucking-
thinks
ugh.
that you should have a certain amount of this and a certain amount of that
Yes.
because you don't have kids.
The problem is
How do you not have this? You don't got no kids. How do you da-da-da-da? You don't got no kids. They just think, or can I borrow money from you?
No,
Because
because
you
you're
don't
not
have
my kid.
You know, like come on.
I want to touch on it
Crazy.
just lightly a little bit. Not, we ain't trying to get too heavy, but let's just talk about social media. I don't miss it. I still
Okay.
got a couple that
Yeah.
I do, but I'm not like how I was with it because it turns you into a fame monster.
Yeah.
It really does.
It can.
Because for me, it was more like, I think, and Kathy and I, we've come to that understanding is that a lot of it is I didn't have brothers or sisters growing
Sure.
up other than foster home. So that was where that came from. But it turns you into someone you don't agree with. But social media, the thing I don't like about it is the fake fucking personas that people put on.
Yes. Yeah, and
They
they're
be
really
on there.
shitty people.
They're shitty
Yeah.
people, but they'll be like, haha, I'm
I can
so
name
happy.
5 right now.
Yeah. Like they'll be happy. No, for real. Because like she
Don't get
has a
me
married
started.
couple that she's,
Yeah.
been friends with for a long time. And they actually came to our wedding
Yep.
and shit. And she showed me a picture one day And she's like, well, what do you think of this picture? And I looked and I said, it looks like he wants to strangle the shit out of her. And lo and
Recently-
behold, he literally,
recently had
Yeah.
told me
Take it
that
there.
he wanted to kill his wife, and
Oh,
he told her
no.
that,
Oh no.
and she said, and it scared her into the point where he had said it so confidently and so softly.
Well, she
Yeah.
needs to do it first.
And but it's because he is so miserably
Yes.
like married.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She
So
sucks up all his time,
Ugh.
plus the kids suck up this
Mhm.
time. He
He
says
don't have
he
any
has
his
no
time. There's
he
no
has-
fucking.
He says he
him
has
time.
no break at all. He hasn't had a break since his kids were born. Like just go.
So you know what that is, and I'm learning because
Tell us what is.
you know I'm going through a breakup again. And here we
yes,
go, right?
Let's go there.
Let me just say this. If you don't communicate with your partner with something that bothers you, even if it hurts their feelings, and you like bottle that in and harbor it for a long time, eventually you start growing resentment towards that person.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You fall out of love, you fall out of feelings, then you become a dick, you become disrespectful, you start cheating, you start doing things you normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, so communication, I learned from this last relationship that communication is such a big tool to use. And when you think that you have enough communication, you don't. Okay? Like if you think everything's cool, it's probably not. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like people harbor that shit in and like don't express it because they probably have never had the chance to express their feelings. Guys, for instance, have a really hard time opening up and expressing their feelings, especially if they have,
Yeah.
you know, family traumas, mother traumas, things like that.
Oh,
it's
very
really
true.
it's
That's
really
true.
hard for them to actually open up and be vulnerable.
See, Jason, me and Jason has no issues.
Yeah.
It's me. I
Yeah,
grew up
it
in the
was
black
you.
household of
Oh.
you don't back talk.
Nope,
There is no
you
back
don't.
talk. So
And that's respect,
You were told basically we don't care about your feelings. You better hold them all in
Yeah.
and practice self control.
Yeah.
And that's how I was raised to harbor feelings, that you push it all down
you
because
can't
you
do
couldn't
that.
say
'Cause
anything.
then you can resent anything and everything. You
Yes.
can resent your entire life, your hobbies. You could be like, I don't want to fucking cut hair no more because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it can really change
Oh, yeah.
somebody.
That's true.
It changed on me a drop of a dime. I had no idea what was going on and got fucking blindsided. You know what I'm saying? Like harboring something for some time to the point where it's getting to the point where you're treating somebody like shit. Now you're feeling like shit because it's really not their fault. You just
Right.
don't know how to express it. And then it comes out truth to the table. It's a
Yeah.
whole learning lesson for both parties. For them not to harbor them feelings, to make it go that far, to turn into resentment and be able to come to your partner and say, hey, we need to talk. This is what's fucking me up. And then hopefully you guys can compromise.
That's true.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm
That's
just
true.
saying for like
Yeah.
relationships and with anything, friendships, relationships, any type of
Relation-
coworker
yeah.
shit, like you gotta be open. You gotta let somebody be vulnerable and not like judge them, judge
Yeah.
their feelings and have a safe place for people. You know?
But you know what? Unfortunately, I'm going to put this one in there because I had just told Jason, I said I need to have a support group called the Left-Handed Side. So many people are getting abused inside their
Yeah,
relationships
they
because
are.
of lack of
is.
communication. Oh my God.
was
I
another thing.
mean, like, people are
Yes.
being abused by their spouses
so let me say
in
this real
brutal
quick.
ways.
That was the other thing that I wanted to touch on as far as like with the whole communication thing. It does turn into abuse over time. You know what I mean? Like, and really, if the person doesn't want to be abusive, but this is what's making them act that way, like, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
most of the time, it's just stuff that people haven't communicated. It's underneath the
Yeah.
surface. And me,
Yeah.
that's the kind of readings I
yeah.
get.
And it could be built up shit from childhood trauma. A lot of people carry that. They do because it's hard to let go.
A lot of the readings I get is from married people who are being abused by their spouses.
Yeah. So that was the other thing that he had said and actually stuck with me when all this, whatever. We left on good terms because we're adults and that's what the fuck you do when you love somebody.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Where was I going with this? I said to him, I'm like, I know people that are in worst situations and still live and still make it. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, and they're miserable. And I'm like, wow, holy shit. It put me into perspective. It made me think differently. I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. And it kind of hurt me because in a sense he was telling me that he was miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that I
inadvertently, that's what he was
yeah,
saying.
that I made him miserable. Not that he didn't, he wasn't saying that I was making him
was
miserable.
probably
but
just- yeah.
it was, and that's
Yeah.
how I kind of took it. But it
Yeah.
also kind of sat me right down and put me into perspective. Like, you're fucking right, and we both deserve happiness. So let's not make each other miserable no more, and be adults
Yeah.
and move out. I'll see you when I see you. I love you forever, but it is what it is.
But it also goes back to what you're saying, is the communication.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have those talks in the beginning, and Kathy and I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
We went through World War fucking III.
Oh my God, we learned the hard
Hard
way.
way.
Yeah.
It is a blessing that we are together.
That's
Oh my
how I
God.
felt. That's
we
how I
were
felt.
like
I understand.
WWE the
Yeah.
first
Girl.
fight.
For real.
It was because we didn't have
We didn't.
just-
we didn't
yeah.
have to talk.
Right.
We didn't have to
talk
talk.
about nothing.
We didn't talk
Right.
about nothing, and it happened so fast. And then also with the industry, it was just like
Yes.
boom, boom, boom,
well,
boom,
and
boom,
everything's
boom.
so fast then too.
Yeah.
When I got into this relationship, we did talk about boundaries off rip. Now, the first year that we were together was hell. I went through hell with that man. After the first year, we quit talking for a little bit and we rekindled after. And when we rekindled, we were both on better terms and we both put boundaries down, what we won't tolerate and what we will tolerate, and if we're going to make this work. And it was a beautiful 2 years. I can say that. Like, I had a really good relationship for 2 fucking years. The only
Yeah.
thing is unfortunately he didn't want to have a baby because he's 40 and he's already had children. And that's just not something that he really wanted, but
Okay.
he didn't really express that fully to me. So the whole time I'm thinking, well, if it happens, it happens. But in
Yeah.
my mind, I'm also thinking it probably won't happen just because I don't feel that that's going to happen.
Right.
So it kind of grew resentment because he knew that I wanted a family and he didn't
Knew that he
necessarily.
didn't.
And he
Yeah.
thought that I deserved better because he knew that's how I really felt. And so I commend him for that. I respect
But
him for that. That's a real man.
I love that
do
because
He's a
too.
real man for
Yeah.
that shit. And
Yeah.
so I hope whoever hears this, if you're going through some shit, just be a man about it. Be a woman about it. If you got some feelings going on, man, you got to express that shit because it can fucking really hurt you in the end.
Yeah, because I know a couple of my friends like that if they would have had that
Literally.
talk, they wouldn't have had
Or-
2 more fucking kids.
Thank you.
They
That's
had no,
true.
like, real shit. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say who, but
But-
during COVID, my boy had, another kid. And I remember having a conversation with him, and
He's
I no
miserable.
disrespect, but when I was on the phone with him, I said, "Bro, did you have, what does your wife think?" Well, it doesn't really matter. Or no, did you talk to her about what you think? It's like it doesn't really matter what I think.
Yeah.
Like
People are just having kids with people that they're miserable with, and that makes miserable kids, and it's not fair
Yeah.
to them.
I have so many friends going through this right now where they're just miserable, and then their spouses
Yes.
keep wanting more children.
Because they're locking them down. Unfortunately, to say I'm not bashing the men,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say that women are very strong. We have a lot of intuition in us, but unfortunately, we are very vulnerable to a man that we love that will show us some comfort because they might have daddy issues or they might have had a strong dad in their life, but they look up to their boyfriend because they remind them of their daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So some of these men, though, catch a weak point on these women and will get them pregnant and be like, oh, you don't have to work. I'll take care of everything. They have this kid. Everything's good. Well, next thing you know, he's now harboring resentment because he's the only one fucking working. He's the only one making the bread and making, and doing. And who knows if she's really being the wife she should be as far as food, keeping the house clean, the kids clean.
That's true.
Normal shit.
Yeah.
So these men out here are kind of creating them women, the not so strong women that they're locked down. The women, real talk, y'all need to get a job. Regardless if you're pregnant, not pregnant, y'all need to have that stability because shit can happen at a drop of a dime.
This is true.
That's real.
You need to have stability. Anybody, and I'm not saying women, but men too,
Yeah.
because there are men that will leech onto a woman's coattail because that's just
Woo!
how it is.
Yeah.
Y'all need to find that stability too and stop going through the heartbreak of these soul transferings because that shit ain't good for you either.
That's true.
So
Well, look, we are fucking at, believe it or not, an hour and 17
Holy
minutes.
shit,
This
we
is
on
the
fire.
longest. This is
We
the
could just
longest.
talk,
podcast-
man.
We could, and I want to bring you back for
Yeah,
part 2.
I'm down.
We had Cody
This
Loves
is like
Horror.
8:55 and like
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about. We do this little lightning round at the end, and we
Okay.
just ask random questions,
Yeah.
and we fire them off, and you just.
okay.
say what's at the top of your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna go.
All right.
Favorite pizza?
Pepperoni.
Favorite snack.
Oh, cereal.
Nail shape.
Long square.
Favorite villain.
The Joker.
Ooh.
Favorite toothpaste?
Colgate.
If you got a superhero talent, what would it be?
Be invisible.
Oh, that was good. Nacho cheese or salsa.
Oh man, both.
What is something that you do naturally that a lot of people wouldn't know? It's like a skill you have.
I don't know. It's so funny you ask. I don't know, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I'm just kind of skillful all the way. I don't
Okay.
know. Everything I do, I feel like is a skill because
Okay.
it's like, I have to strategically think about shit.
Favorite
so.
country singer?
Blake Wilson.
Oh.
I love Gwen. Just saying.
Yeah.
Favorite hair color?
Gwen is hot.
Yeah. Favorite hair color, I would have to say, is probably like a dark purple.
Oh. I like
Yeah.
that.
What decade would you love to be
The
like
50s.
in the 50s?
Yeah. That
I
one's
totally
a
see
rip,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
50s all the way.
Last but not least, macaroni and cheese or spaghetti?
Oh man, I love both, but I'd take spaghetti because there's more with it.
I like that.
And with that, we are towards the end of the interview. I want to say, going into the new year, man, we say this, but we really, really want to emphasize it tonight. This is like one of the last, this is going to be our last podcast of the year for this season. And I just want to say, man, the world's been going through a lot of turbulence, a lot of transition, a lot of crazy shit going on. People are just losing their fucking minds. They're losing respect for one another. They're not holding doors. They're like cutting people off on the road. It's like, look, slow down. You're not going to get there any faster. Just slow down, breathe, take time for you. Self-care, I can't stress it enough. Self-care. But also, I work in retail, and I always tell people at the end, now I got a little message at the end, and I tell people, I say, don't forget to be kind to one another. Kill hate with kindness. Like, let's start being nice to one another. Maybe we can turn the world around by being nice to one another. And maybe you guys need some edibles, too. Maybe get like a bowl of edibles, some no-bake cookies, whatever the fuck you got to do. But stop hating on one another. Stop the bullshit. Like, let's go into 2024 with a positive mindset, a positive inspiration, focus, determination, all that, man. And let's all just try to live, man.
And leave them raggedy ass people alone.
Yes. And here's another resolution I'm putting out there. And I'm saying it. Cut off the ingenuine. Cut off the fake. Cut off the fucking, once in a while people
It's
that
okay
reach
to
out to you.
ghost and block
Yes,
people,
get rid of 'em.
Like,
Block
no
2024.
response is
Yes.
a response.
And toxicity
Silence
is
is
not
a killer.
And toxicity is not passive aggressive. It is very assertive. So fucking
is-
get rid of them.
All black,
Alright.
no breaks.
Yes.
Alrighty,
And
Miss Lady Dice, tell
tell
us
us-
where
Thank
we
you.
Yes.
can reach you at, my dear, your social media.
So-
Any videos, all that.
So, I mean, you can go to, YouTube. I'm still on there. You could type in Lady Dice. You might get the other one, but I'm there.
Okay.
Michigan made. And then, of course, SoundCloud is still up.
Nice.
Lady Dice 517. Tay B, Facebook, Readings with a Purpose if you want some tarot action.
Okay.
Kathy also does that too. So there's two services in one.
And I'm going to
But
put it
yeah.
out there. We're going to get a collab in the
Yeah,
future if you're
absolutely.
down. You know what I'm saying?
I want to
'Cause-
dig back into
yeah,
music.
because I've been working on some stuff on the hush, a
Okay.
little bit just for fun and shit.
Yeah.
I don't really give a fuck too much about the shows
Me
anymore.
either.
I just like doing it and letting people hear it.
Yep.
And with that, we're going to take it to the end, y'all.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much for Lady Dice
you.
coming out here. I got to find the damn outro. Where the fuck did it go? There it is. All right, y'all. I found it. Y'all have a great night and see you next year.
All right. Hey, have a good night, you guys.
Talking New.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is another great episode of Talking New. We got Lady Dice in the house, and she was over there just talking new. Yeah, talking about everything up under the sun. That's what we do when we're talking new. Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
2023 was crazy, but we'll be
Talking new.
in 2024 and beyond. 60
Happy
years
New
old with a
Year.
canine. Talking new. Even though it's
blessed
cold out, I'll
holidays,
be in my
you
birthday
guys.
suit outside. Talking new. I could do this all motherfucking night, but it's
Have
time
a
to
good
go.
holiday, you guys. Be safe.
Happy
And Happy New
holidays.
Year.
Be nice to one another. And don't forget,
To talk
whatever
nude.
you do, yes, make sure it's new.